place has been my life. It, without it, I would not be here today. When my dear wife passed away in 1994, I was just terribly upset. And I'd been working here since 1981, but the girls in the office could see that I was going to really go downhill if I wasn't careful. So they made more work for me. They got me interested in all the programs, and eventually it became an obsession for me to really work here, because it just changed my whole life.
When the doors opened, literally, he was one of the founding members of the Senior Centre, and so that's about 35 years ago now. But he was a volunteer in the community long before then, volunteer firefighter, all kinds of different roles. But when I first met him 22 years ago, he was 80, so he was like a spring chicken compared to what he is now. And he's a man of so many talents. We used to have a float for the Seniors Activity Centre in the Community Day Parade every year. Fred arranged the float. He decorated the float. And whatever the theme was, he always roped me in to be one of his crew, you know, to wave to the crowds along the route. He's very creative. He does all kinds of different tasks here. You know, he does check statistics. He decorates the centre for Christmas. No matter what the job is, even if it's big job or a small job, he's dedicated to all of them.
When you know Fred, and know what he's been through, and that makes you wonder, you know, just if you're lucky enough to be able to stand up to everything in life and enjoy life as much as Fred does, I think it would be a really good plan to follow, you know, as far as following Fred.
Yeah. I love to drive. I feel so comfortable when I get into my car. I could drive anywhere. I feel absolutely at ease. And when they started to talk about me, especially about being 102 years old, the place erupted. I looked down and it was like a wave, you know, and turns out I was the only one that ever got a standing ovation.
Truly embodies the spirit of volunteering. He really does. As I said, he's an inspiration no matter what your age. He's a beautiful expression of giving back to the community, really. No matter what, he gives his all.
But I did say no to something, and that's the only time that I can remember in my entire life that I said no. I've always said, sure, I'll do it.
He learned how to work on the computer in his 90s, so he picked up Microsoft Excel and Word, Outlook, how to navigate all these different tools. He also works with our class database, which is tricky for most of us. Then it's pretty impressive at 102 that he can navigate all these different systems. He oversees our menus to make sure that they're all printed. One of my favorite tasks that he does is he proofreads all of our work and double checks our leisure guide to make sure that our barcodes are correct and they align with the correct dates and there's no mistakes that are put in there. He's an impressive man. He's also the first fella to jump up there and do the photocopying for anyone who needs an extra copy in the center. He's there to assist or help. He also gets up in front of our different groups of people and talks about the power of volunteering and how it's changed his life and how it inspires him each day. He also speaks about how it saved his life when his wife passed away after 50 years.
I will try and do this as long as I can stand up. The worst days of my week is Saturday and Sunday, when I don't come down here. I just felt that I can't do 7 days. I got to have a couple of days. They're not the best days.
He's integral to our operation. He's integral to our administration. But what he provides us is much more than just the skills and the tasks that he does each day. It's that inspiration in our center, that can-do attitude.
I think it's my mother. I adored my mother. I just loved her very much. And I saw what she did. She was the most active person that I've ever seen. And not only that, she'd give the coat off her back for somebody. I always think of my mother. And it's kind of curious in a way. Her maiden name was Bailey. The girl that I married, her maiden name was Bailey. And they were both beautiful people. And I just love both of them dearly. But it was my mother, I think, that I follow.